If we are issuing pardons, however, there is one person that President Trump should pardon from federal charges forthwith. It would be incredibly controversial, but I think that it's absolutely necessary. That person is Derek Chauvin. President Trump should, in fact, pardon Derek Chauvin. He should pardon him his federal charges. If we're talking about reversing the evils of the last several years in American life, obviously COVID and its handling was a massive evil. Destroyed the economy, set us on a path to fiscal insanity, destroyed children, led to massive health-related cover-ups. Just horrifying all the way around. And President Trump has taken on a lot of those things. But when it came to BLM, the inciting event, or the BLM riots that caused $2 billion in property damage in the United States and set America's race relations on their worst footing in my lifetime, was in fact the railroading of Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd.
And I'm going to tell you exactly why I hate this. Number one, there is absolutely nothing beneficial that pardoning Chauvin would do for the Trump administration, for this country, for race relations, for anybody else. It is absolutely destructive. It makes no sense. And so for me, when I first saw this, generally conversations that happen come from the ground up. Usually there's some sort of murmuring under, and then it kind of like bubbles up, and then it becomes a national conversation. This seems to be a very top-down conversation that comes from somebody with an enormous amount of influence. This is nothing that anybody was talking about or thinking about. So it really makes me question, why is this conversation happening right now? It makes me question, why did Ben Shapiro want to start this conversation right now? Who does this benefit? Doesn't benefit Trump, doesn't benefit America, doesn't benefit race relations, it doesn't benefit anything. And the last point I'll make on it is this.
So far, I agree with him. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, when I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. So far, he's right on the money. Okay, I'm so glad. Okay, brother, let's go.
There are very few people that can actually really speak to in depth what was going on in that trial, how George Floyd actually died, et cetera, et cetera. There's probably 5 people that have, spent the bulk of their day on a podcast set every single day, like Ben Shapiro, like maybe 2 or 3 other people that can really talk to you in depth about this. So then they're positioning themselves to say, no, listen to me. I'm the one who really knows about this. So what? Trump's agenda is supposed to be derailed. Where we're at as a country right now is supposed to be derailed because these leftists and these Democrats are looking for a reason to have another race war. That is what they love. So why this conversation is happening right now, I have no idea.
You're not for it at all.
No, I am not.
Hell no. See, he thought he was going to be one of those black guys. I told Broken Blade I was going to try to do this in an hour. I'm behind. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to. All right. So check this out, y'all. This is part of what I was talking about earlier. People get so wound up about all the hubbub that like when there's real racism and real stuff going on that like we miss it. And then when they've flooded the zone, this is where people that were locked up get released, or charges get dropped, or there's some sort of overreaction. Well, it seems that Ben Shapiro has decided that he thinks that Derek Chauvin should get out of prison. Now, here's the thing. I have a problem with this George Floyd thing, right? Can we talk about this? We kind of talk about it, but we don't really talk about it really exactly. Because like Candace Owens, right?
Yeah.
Candace Owens went hard. And she was like, he had fentanyl in his system, and he da-da-da-da-da, and we all know how that works, because once she said it, it gave cover for a lot of other people to say, oh, he was on drugs and he deserved it, or he died anyway, blah, 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 right? So for that reason, Candace Owens gets booted from the barbecue, never to be invited back again, I think. We kind of talked about it. Some people, would invite her to the barbecue. I think because she didn't understand the larger ramifications of what she was saying, I find that to be stupid and against your own people. But absolutely, I digress. So there is that narrative that he was a drug addict and that he might have died anyways. Now, my issue with the whole thing was, who decided it was going to be that death in particular that everyone was going to like start promoting and donating money? And who decided that it was going to be his face on the murals and the statues and the whatever, right? And it was giving me Martin Luther King vibes, where I was like, why is everyone trying to push Martin Luther King down my face, down my throat? Like, what is this, the only black man you guys are cool with me liking? Is that what it is? Like, so it made it feel like that was the only black tragedy we were allowed to like get mad about. But like, what about all the other ones?
Yeah.
And so that has been my issue with George Floyd, is like, y'all are acting like these motherfuckers don't kill black people all the time. Like, that's some regular shit. You saw how comfortable that guy was? Do you see how comfortable he was? Wasn't going nowhere. And he knew that guy. For God's sakes, they knew each other. Right? So then these prisons, the guys dying 2-3 weeks apart, handcuffed and shit. And it's like, and no one's talking about that part. And I'm like, what the fuck is, okay. All right. So then Trump, he lets January 6th out, and he lets, which, look, I saw a bunch of grannies walking around the Capitol, like not knowing where they were. They just walked in because the door was open and everybody else was walking in. All of the aggressive people, to me, all the aggressive people that broke stuff and like smashed through the doors, I think those are the people that should have caught charges. There was a lot of video. You could tell who were the first, like, say 10 or 20 or 30 people that went in. Those people, the people that took property out of there, maybe those people that destroyed property when they were in there, all those people should absolutely catch charges. But like grannies and stuff, and like the way that the FBI went after these people and whatever, I don't agree with all that. I think that some of that was a little bit of an overreach. But Trump, to his word, he gets in, he gets everybody out. But see, what happens is, because there's that little breathing room in there, people get to be like, well, maybe you should let Chauvin out too, because he didn't do anything. Let's see.
The same day that Tate is going through all this stuff, guess what Ben Shapiro comes out and says? Ben Shapiro comes out and says, he's asking Trump, Rob, if you got this clip, to pardon. I'll let him say it. Go for it, Rob.
If we are issuing pardons, however, there is one person that President Trump should pardon from federal charges forthwith. It would be incredibly controversial, but I think that it's absolutely necessary. That person is Derek Chauvin. President Trump should, in fact, pardon Derek Chauvin. He should pardon him his federal charges. If we're talking about reversing the evils of the last several years in American life, obviously COVID and its handling was a massive evil. Destroyed the economy, set us on a path to fiscal insanity, destroyed children, led to massive health-related cover-ups. Just horrifying all the way around. And President Trump has taken on a lot of those things. But when it came to BLM, the inciting event for the BLM riots that caused $2 billion in property damage in the United States and set America's race relations on their worst footing in my lifetime, was in fact the railroading of Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd.
I would love to have a face-to-face private conversation with him. I would love to have a face-to-face private conversation away from cameras and microphones and witnesses. And I bet we would have a fabulous conversation. I think we would get a lot of things done. I think that we would see each other's positions so much better than we do now. I wish that we could have that conversation. Like I said, no cameras, no microphones, no witnesses. I imagine we could, I bet when we left that conversation, he would understand my angst. I think I would be able to communicate that to him effectively.
Absolutely.
Evidence demonstrates that Derek Chauvin did not, in fact, commit murder of George Floyd. George Floyd was high on fentanyl. He had a significant pre-existing heart condition. George Floyd was saying he could not breathe.
So this happens simultaneously. Elon Musk.
And then Elon Musk jumps in. I wrote a message to Elon Musk. I tweeted it. Let me see if I can find it. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Let's just see how heart condition. We all saw what the fuck went down.
Yeah.
No healthy person is surviving a full-grown man putting his knee on the neck for the better part of 9 minutes.
No, bro, let's not even You see what I'm like by kind of explaining it, we almost have to, it's almost like giving his argument breadth in the first place, right? And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he maybe, you know, even if he was on fentanyl, it was recreational, man. Like, if the guy was getting fucked up, he was getting fucked up. That doesn't mean that he should get snuffed out in the side of the street with his face in the street. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you actually talking about? And excuse my, because it's asinine. It really is. And like, and then here's the thing. This is the part where I have an issue. Sorry, I hate to cut you off. I've just been, this shit's been boiling, because here's the thing. It's like Republicans, white people, Republicans. This is where you guys get it fucked up. Because when you know your people are doing some foul shit, you got to be like, yo, you can't do foul shit. Like, you don't. It's 2025. We can't do that anymore. There's cameras everywhere. There's witnesses everywhere. Like, people go to jail. Like, stop it. Stop it at this point. Right? We all know what this is. You got a bunch of bullies that have bad attitudes, that are mad because they hate their conditions, because they're in there with you. Even though they're getting paid, they're still in there with you, and they hate it. So they take it out on you. We know that's what it is. All of these are all of it is bully shit. If they were, because here's the thing, we all have seen cool cops. We know cool cops. Cool cops, meaning like they haven't said anything negative or been disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right? They know how to not be disrespectful. Right? I would imagine every once in a while you'll find a guy that's just absolutely gonna need to get his ass whooped. I get that. But not these, but that's not the guys you keep seeing. Like, these aren't hardened criminals. You're seeing them killing people out in the street, right? These aren't these big old monsters that they're killing in the street, right? That Elijah McClain, I think it was his name. Yeah. Little guy, right? Who was the kid with the squirt gun? Tamir Rice. Like, these are kids. They're bullying kids. Motherfuckers 6'5", and then when you do have somebody big, Eric Gardner, New York, you know, you get 3-4 cops on him, choking him out from the back. Like, so if it's one-on-one, they're bullying the little kid. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many examples, and I'm trying to figure out why aren't we breaking things? Like, we must be okay with it. Like, we must be. Like, it must not piss people off the way it fucking infuriates me. Like, to know, and it boils my blood to know that someone in handcuffs got murdered by a bunch of freaking race cops. That's crazy. And like, all these Congressional Black Caucus and NAACP and all these people pretend to like black people, but the one situation where you're like, yo, you at least got to protect them here, they fucking can't do it. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I can't take none of these people serious. I really can't. I really can't take any of these people serious. The more I look, the more I think, the more I'm like, you know, this is the same shit. None of y'all are doing nothing. You're all docile. All of them. It just, I'm like, where's your fucking fight? Where are your balls? Like, when do you, like, what do you all this pontificating and fucking fluffing in front of the camera, but you're not getting shit done. So like, and Maxine Waters, thank you. Look, Sandra Bland, same thing. Like, what are we talking about? Why do I know so many names of these young black people? I've named, goddamn, bro, I've named more dead black people than I have friends. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Salute. No, I'm sorry. I hate to get. I don't be yell. Because it's like all these people that are talking about they care about black people. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. If you can't see talk about those last two stories that we just talked about, and listen to this asshole say what he just said, and if that doesn't make you want to snap a fucking desk in half, then you're not black. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? And I hate to yell, but like,
that's facts. So one of the big parts of our culture, people say we don't have the culture. It's more than just the food. It's more than the clothing. That's, by the way, we're the custodians of pop culture the world over. But let's not acknowledge that. But also the emotional, spiritual. One of the things all FBA have in common is that phantom pain.
Yeah, that's real, man.
And if you can't feel that, hear these type of stories, no, you ain't rocking with us.
You can't be. You really can't be. Like, you can't be. Broken Blade, in the last 10 minutes, I'm breaking a sweat. Like, I want to snap things. Like, I can't. It's happened to me the other day too. Every time I even touch this issue, I fucking fly off the handle. It is the one thing that we have done this entire time that I don't have control. I really don't have any control over. All rational thought, keeping myself out of trouble, goes out the window. Like, all I can think is get back. That's all I can think. I'll break things. Like, and I'm sitting here looking at these black people staring me in my face, talking about I should go vote, and this is important, and that's important, and baby deletions, and all this stuff. And I'm watching my doppelganger, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is, because the guys look like me, look like you, look like my cousins, look like me, and I'm watching a bunch of hillbillies murder him in cold blood, and ain't nobody got any problems with it. Yo, I am so piping. You don't understand, bro. I'm so upset. I hate that this has been suppressed. I hate that nobody's talking about it. I hate that everybody's just kind of looking up at the ceiling like it didn't happen. I cannot stand it, bro. Look, I imagine that this is a long list. It's a long list. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. And if you ever have an opportunity to square up on your public officials, you have an opportunity to reach out or whatever, ask them what the hell they think about this bullshit. Where are you on this? I see a whole bunch of LGBTQ LMNOP in your Twitter feed, in your X feed. I see a whole bunch of brown and black and brown coalition. I see a whole bunch of collard greens in tubs, but I don't really see anybody saying anything about this mess right here. Like, I just don't. And then you get to sit around and let a bunch of white people now sit around and be like, well, he was a crackhead anyway. He deserved to die. Let that boy out of there. And see how he's trying to conflate things? Since there was public outrage around the situation, somehow it makes it okay for him to take another person's life? Like, the reason people are mad is because he took someone's life. Like, that was why, because that doesn't change because we all watched it.
Yeah.
Like, we all watched it. And you got the nerve to be like, well, because all this other stuff happened, you should let him out of prison. And then Elon Musk chimed in. Bro, I wrote, I can't find it. It basically, I was like, at Elon Musk. I'm like, bro, I am a conservative freaking Republican that voted for a black man that voted for fucking Trump. And you're making it very difficult for me not to want to throw you out with the baby with the bathwater. I was like, a white South African trying to get into race relations in the United States is probably a bad idea. You should sit this one out.
Yeah.
Swear to God. I was like, you should sit this one out. Like, this is not like Medicare and the budget and the treasury and rockets and whatever, but please don't step into race relations. You're from a place that colonized another place, in another place that colonized another place that had slaves. Like, chill, bro.
Put your poor ass down.
Chill, bro. Chill. Because that is the one thing that I think will mess around and get Trump fucked up. I'm not joking. Because I think they think just because as many black people have been quiet as they have, that ain't nobody gonna say nothing. I think that they really think that fat meat ain't greasy. But then those dudes in Minnesota found out, right? Them KKK or them Yahtzees that thought they were gonna run up in there and the whole goddamn town ran them the hell up out of there. And then like, just because we're quiet don't mean we won't pop. Right? Like, you know, they never talk about that stuff. That we get it cracking. We really do. When it's time to get it cracking, there's enough of us that will pop out, that have weapons, that will get it cracking. Who was that Jam Master? What was that brother they locked up?
Oh, right. It was Cincinnati.
You know, his whole crew. We got to get back up on that, and we got to support that dude. I think we kind of left him high and dry on that one. Shout out to CJ the Enforcer, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Salute to all you guys. Let me know if Uncle D is already on, or if he pops on while I don't have him. Does he have a broadcast set up yet?
Oh, I'm checking now.
Won't step on any toes.
I'm not seeing anything.
Don't see anything yet? Okay, cool. All right, we'll keep it rocking then. At least for another 15.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm afraid to go further on this one video because these dudes, because here's the thing, man, people get very comfortable about how they speak about race sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're insensitive. It's just that I think maybe sometimes there's dog whistles that maybe they're not sure they're dog whistles, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to throw anybody any bail because F all these dudes, but you know, because I can't wait to hear what this brother in the middle got to say, because I don't know. Because again, bro, even if he was a crackhead, can we all admit that even if he was a crackhead, he does not deserve to get snuffed out in the freaking middle of the street? And for God's sakes, he was 6'8", right? What's the problem with people that are 6'8"? Let me just go ahead and hip all of you guys. What's up with 6'8"? Well, see, people that are extra tall like that, they always have heart conditions because they're larger than the normal person. So typically people when they're like 6'6" and above, 6'4" and above. I know a guy that's 6'4" and he's got crazy hip problems. He's 27 and he's got the hips of like a 90-year-old. Got to get like surgery and shit. Like, it's all messed up. He used to like row crew, but it's a bone disease that he has in his family. But he's 6'4", 6'4" and up. You have bone issues, joint issues, heart issues, because everything in your body's larger than normal. Just like big dogs always have issues. Same thing. So it's not strange for the guy that's 6'8" to have some sort of a heart condition, because he at one point was a professional athlete or semi-professional athlete. So that's not that weird. And no one, I think they be making stuff up just to put it on the, but whatever. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be alive. So let's see what these folks got to say. Oh my God, I'm so afraid.
Muskrat responds, I believe, because Elon Musk, he says something to think about. He tweets this video out to 290 million followers on X and says, this is something to think about. Newsweek says Chauvin serving a 22.5-year sentence for second-degree unintentional murder and a 21-year federal sentence for.
I love how they put all the unintentional, like, you see how they tweet. You know, if it was one of us, they would be like, this murderer. It was like first degree, second degree murder. You know what I'm saying? So there's like, oh well, he kind of didn't mean to, but accidentally, kind of maybe snuffed somebody out, maybe kind of. Such bullshit.
Violating Floyd's civil rights, though Shapiro noted in a video that Trump's pardon power only.
He murdered him. So you see how they be bullshitting? Oh my God.
Applies to the federal charge, saying the Derek Chauvin conviction represents the defining achievement of the woke movement in American politics. Rob, your thoughts on the story?
I hate this so much.
Okay. All right. Broken Blade. we're gonna take the high low on whether or not we are going to end up agreeing or disagreeing with what he said. They found if there was a Republican that was going to give them what they wanted, they found him. So I'm gonna say that I don't know what he's gonna say right now. We are listening to this the first time. I have no idea what he's gonna say. What do you think? Do you think you are going to agree or disagree with what he's about to say? And while you think about that, I'm gonna show.
Disagree.
Okay, I met.
I hope I'm wrong. But
you said you're gonna disagree.
yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm with you on that. I think I'm probably gonna end up disagreeing too, but shout out to Cody Marshall. He says I met the great Cali, and he has hip and knee issues. Hell yeah, he does. Oh, he's all busted up. He's gonna be in a wheelchair. Shout out to Cody Marshall. Yeah, he's Cali Muscle. He's all. I think isn't he trying to make a comeback? Was he trying to? I think he almost died, didn't he? He might have almost died. All right, so I'm thinking I'm gonna probably disagree with this dude too. Let's see what he's got to say. I don't even want to, because I don't even want to entertain this bullshit.
And I'm gonna tell you exactly why I hate this. Number one, there is absolutely nothing beneficial that pardoning Chauvin would do for the Trump administration, for this country, for race relations, for anybody else. It is absolutely destructive. It makes no sense. And so for me, when I first saw this, generally conversations that happen come from the ground up. Usually there's some sort of murmuring under, and then it kind of like bubbles up, and then it becomes a national conversation. This seems to be a very top-down conversation that comes from somebody with an enormous amount of influence. This is nothing that anybody was talking about or thinking about. So it really makes me question, why is this conversation happening right now? It makes me question, why did Ben Shapiro want to start this conversation right now? Who does this benefit? Doesn't benefit Trump, doesn't benefit America, doesn't benefit race relations, it doesn't benefit anything. And the last point I'll make on it is this.
So far, I agree with him.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Hey, when I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. So far, he's right on the money. Okay, I'm so glad. Okay, brother, let's go.
There are very few people that can actually really speak to in depth what was going on in that trial, how George Floyd actually died, et cetera, et cetera. There's probably 5 people that have, spent the bulk of their day on a podcast at every single day, like Ben Shapiro, like maybe 2 or 3 other people that can really talk to you in depth about this. So then they're positioning themselves to say, no, listen to me. I'm the one who really knows about this. So what? Trump's agenda is supposed to be derailed. Where we're at as a country right now is supposed to be derailed because these leftists and these Democrats are looking for a reason to have another race war. That is what they love. So why this conversation is happening right now, I have no idea.
You're not for it at all.
No, I am not.
Hell no. See, he thought he was gonna be one of those black guys that I just accused him of being, but he's not. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, look, like I said, I made an assumption, but I wasn't.
Okay, third option. What if you like that smile, trying to get like he snuck in, like acting like one of those guys?
We know,
like he knew they thought they would play the game just enough, to get his ones off.
Yeah,
I got you, bitches.
Yeah, because he had them fooled. He has them fooled, or they because at least enough for him to be shocked at his response. Shout out to CJ the Enforcer, man. Oh man, you're just too kind, bro. Invest in black young media. You're cooking tonight, brother. Man, thank you, dog. I do not like seeing us get done dirty. I don't, man. I don't know. Some people think it's not. I don't think it's corny to say. I don't. Like, I do not like to see my people done wrong. I don't like to see my people get disrespected. I just don't. Like, as much as I want to try to, we cannot separate ourselves we can't separate from each other. Like, we can't. We're all behind enemy lines. Like, we're all behind enemy lines. Whether we like each other or not, we're all behind enemy lines. And like, I can work with some, I can't work with others, whatever. It is what it is, but it doesn't mean that I like seeing my people done wrong. Like Al Green, I'm like, brother, sit down. He has no friends. Because if he had friends, he'd be like, look, man, that was the old way they used to do that. We got to figure something else out. We got to do it a different way. Like, this ain't working anymore. You know what I'm saying?
He has a friend. The issue is, will he listen to him? Uncle D.
Man, facts. Uncle D, because yes, I'm just like, bro, come on, man, you're killing me, Smalls. Like you're making it, because we can't get to the real stuff when we're messing around with that, and we look so stupid. And then when is the next time you're gonna get another black person up there to be able to command the message and what's going on? It's like you're a spectacle. You made yourself a spectacle for nothing, because no one's gonna do anything. You just look stupid. You made us look stupid. Like the Republicans don't have to do anything. You're doing it for them. Yeah. The shout out to CJ, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, bro. I'm just trying to.
Texas, he should know better.
He should. I don't know.
Too, like you. Maybe he's
just getting old, bro. Shout out to CJ. And also my brother Solo Dolo, what's up, man? He said he's listening from the clouds. Salute to you, my friend. Solo Dolo is the other part of my brain. Man, thank you. I agree. I mean, thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. But look at his smile is. Hold on. Look. Hey. Shout out to him. Oh, because he handled that. He handled that answer quite well. I was afraid. Now here's a question: do we quit while we're ahead, or do we let the white people speak?
Part of me is like, I want to hear the rest of this. Another part of me is like, they've been silencing us in media for a minute, and like, low key, fuck them.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I know, right? I could just let it go. I think I'm gonna let it go. I don't think it's necessary. I really don't think it's necessary, man. Oh, look, my brother Hootsie. Man, Hoosie said something for the map fee. We're all we've got, and help ain't coming, brothers. We got to work it out. That's a fact. We're getting it from both sides, but two wings of the same bird, And I think when you look at the possibility of making structural changes, especially right now, this dude 47 might do something. If you could get to his ear, Steve Bannon, and I've never heard Steve Bannon say black men more than I have in the past 2 months.
Yeah.
And he seems to really mean that stuff. He really does. And he's the main kind of like force against Elon Musk, because I think Elon Musk would absolutely put us in chains. I believe Elon Musk would put us in chains. I think he would try. Yes, absolutely. That is not beyond him. I think he would try.
South Africa, brother.
Yeah, I think he would try. Donald Trump, not even close. No, not even a little bit. No,
that's not him. One sister is willing to do the Willie Mandela.
Yeah. So she was really gangster. Yeah. So So getting not up under, but just paying attention to Steve Bannon, maybe trying to find his ear, get on that side of the MAGA situation, I think is important. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the lasting part of the party anyway. Because I think that the Elon, like the latecomers are going to be the latecomers. Those late adopters they just want to be on the winning team. Let's just be real, right? Elon Musk saw the writing on the wall. He was like, if this other guy wins, they're going to be freaking censoring me all over the place. They're going to be censoring me all across the United States. They're going to be censoring me all across the world. I'm going to be dealing with lawyers all over the place. I absolutely can't let Kamala Harris win. So he flipped early, but I think it was because he saw the data and he knew that there was a possible win. Yeah. And in addition to, it was, again, they were trying to regulate him, and he was like, I'm not trying to get regulated. Let's go the other way. And so then, boom, then you've got RFK. He realized he couldn't win. He tried to talk to Harris first. He was going to join the Harris side. They didn't want to talk to him. So then he went over and started talking to Trump. right? His people, again, late adopters. Same thing happened with Tulsi Gabbard, right? So, but MAGA for real, like the broke white folks. I mean, we know the broke white folks. I mean, we grew up with the broke white folks. I mean, we have more in common with the broke white folks than, than like the Harvard professors and such. So, I don't know, I just think that's at least, we need to start playing smarter politics is what I'm saying. Yeah. And that is, I think seems like a reasonable way to actually get some things done. And again, all these illegals, there's a lot of jobs out there for brothers. I don't know if they're doing them all. I hope if you need a job, please go get yourself a job. There has got to be openings after all these people ran up out of here and getting snatched out in this first month and a half. There has got to be some openings. Go get you a job, even if it's not paid for what you really need it for or want it for. Start making some money, bro. Let's as a people, I really want us to win. I really do. I really want.
And the spending power we have, we just need to keep it in house.
That's the other part. That's the other part. Recirculate our own dollars.
Talking about like we need a lawyer. Maybe give him a call first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got to protect ourselves. That's where we always mess up. We never protect ourselves. I think I'm good. I'm going to let this one rock. Anything that you want to, first of all, let me do this first. Yeah, man, this is all we've got. Help ain't coming. That's a fact. That's absolutely giving up and we are on our own. What do you think, man? Do you think that guy asked or put that out there to stoke? Like, do you think he was doing it as a? I don't know. What do you think? Why do you think that? I mean, is that punching down? Just trying to be controversial for clicks.
Oh, Shapiro?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It'd probably being controversial for the sake of it. A lot of these bigots tend to feel themselves a lot more when Trump's in office.
That's the thing, right? He just doesn't come out strongly and say, hey, I'm not about that, right? He just doesn't say anything. And I think because he doesn't say anything, people just assume that he's okay with it. I mean, that's kind of how it is, right? Like, it's like if you don't full throat say, hey, I don't do that KKK stuff. You guys, that's not this over here. But if he doesn't say that, then, we have to speculate, or we have to take his silence for complicity.
Yeah.
Right. So is that what Shapiro is not a fan of Trump and wants to sabotage his presidency? Shapiro backed DeSantis. You know what? That's probably the most reasonable, most realistic idea as to why he did that I can think of. Because even the left, it keeps trying to make us hate Trump too. And like, you coon, see all them. And
I'll be called words growing up, kiss my ass.
and that don't work anymore.
Called a hard on first grade. You go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Change to their real issue. Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I'm hoping that we're not as easily manipulated over it. Like I said, I did, because the two times now that Elon got smacked was because with the stuff when he started dipping in the race. Like that H-1B situation, bro, like him and Vivek, that almost blew the whole thing up. Like, I don't think he was prepared because he got mad. You see one of his things, he was like, I don't give a, I'll die on this. It was like, yo, player.
You sure about that?
Yeah, you should. That's, you know, like I get where you're, I get where you're at. And again, a lot of these people, man, you got to think, okay, I still don't understand how a whole bunch of white people from this little bitty part of rock up here goes to this big old continent down here full of black people and somehow manages to convince them to allow these other people to come in and rape and pillage and destroy without giving anything in return. Still in mud huts. I mean, that's some diabolical stuff. I was looking at the numbers of some of the amounts of people that were killed in the Congo.
The whole situation is fucked. But you got to give side out to both sides. Like, well, you the title douchebags. The other side, like, y'all really, for real?
Okay, and that's kind of what I was getting at. That, like, they don't see anything wrong with it. Like, you don't see that you ain't even supposed to be down here. Like, they act like they deserve to be there. And you're like, you stole that land. You murdered and pillaged and stole, and you're still there. And we can see you. And we have the internet, so we know what you did. Like, we know what you did. But you're still there, fighting like it's really yours, like you really earned it for real. And you don't see anything wrong with that. Huh. That's crazy. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. And it's and we still keep, and so like these South Africans, they're like, you hear them talk sometimes, and they're like, even if these black people did come back and start, you deserve it. Take it home. Go back to where the fuck you came from. Do like what you tell us to do. But they feel entitled. That's crazy. It's wild, bro. It's so crazy. And like, you can't even see, you ain't even supposed to be on this continent. Like, you being on this continent, something you were part of some shenanigans for you to even be here. Even for you to be here, you are part of something. So Elon Musk really, bro, it's like, bro, you shut up. You do not have space to speak on race relations in the United States. You just don't. Yeah, this dude right here, boy,